Okay, welcome to the demo for Project 9. We're going to work on Microsoft Excel 2007 using spreadsheets. This is for a statistical analysis project. On the website you'll find this prompt in which it outlines what you're supposed to do. For this assignment you need to select something that you're interested in and can gather data on to show statistical analysis using mathematical and charting capabilities in Microsoft Excel. Sports seem to work very well. I've seen successful projects on many different ideas, issues, or hobbies. I've seen things on baseball, basketball, football. I've seen things on movies, history, all kinds of things. People have found a way to gather data, show that you can use math in Excel and create charts and graphs effectively into a PowerPoint presentation. So you'll need Excel. You'll need to create a subfolder in your projects titled Last Name Project 9. You're going to save your workbook in that folder, and then in that workbook you're going to have sheets for stats and then 3 charts. You're going to choose the most representative data to chart, and you're going to have your charts titled and labeled, and then you're going to import this into a PowerPoint showing what you've done in Microsoft Excel and who the winner of the project was. And you're going to have a PowerPoint, a PDF, and an Excel document in this folder in your 303 drive. Okay, so my first step will be to right click. I'm just going to do this on my desktop. You're going to do this in your network folder. Here's my folder I want you to have, and inside of here you're going to save all your files. Okay, now to Excel. Again, I'm just going to start by, I'm going to do a simple one for basketball. So, in your cells, if you watch the Atomic Learning videos, these are cells, and they're labeled by column and row. Column down the top, rows down the side. So in my first cell here, I'm going to skip a couple rows, and I'm going to type in player, team, games played, points per game, assists per game, rebounds per game, free throws made, free throws attempt, and free throw percentage. Those are going to be my categories for this comparison. Okay. Now the first thing I need to do is format my cells. So I'm going to highlight this top row and make them a little bit bigger. So I'm going to begin formatting my cells. At the top, I'm going to make these wide enough to display the data, and I'm going to turn these ones over here so you can read my font. So I'm going to select that, right click, go to Format Cells. In the Alignment tab, I'm going to change my orientation to 45 degrees. I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to give it a little bit of shade. I want to keep it something that contrasts my font color, but still makes it seem a little bit more important because it is my header row. Okay, giving my columns headers. Now, making my columns wider, I can either click here and drag, or I can right click and go to column width and give it a value. I'm just going to give these all right click 10. Now I have my spreadsheet laid out the way I want, and I can start filling in my data. At the top here, I'll give it a title. I'm going to highlight all the way to here, right click, format cells, and in the alignment tab I'm going to merge the cells together, and then in the center and the center here I'm going to give my graphic title, or my table title. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save this into my Project 9 folder. Remember, I put mine on my desktop. You guys will have yours on your 303 folder. And again, this is last name, Project 9. Okay, down here at the bottom, you have your worksheets. Okay, this one right here, right-click and rename this Stats. And I'm not going to need Sheet 2, so I'm going to right-click and delete. Right-click and delete. So you can always add new sheets if you need more. Again, unnecessary for this document. So my one sheet is labeled Stats. I'm now ready to insert my data from my internet website that I chose. So again, I'm choosing basketball, so I'm going to go online. I'm going to use ESPN or NBA.com will work. So I'm just going to type in NBA.com. I'm going to find the statistics for the Boston Celtics in the 2011 playoffs. Stats, individual stats. (2011) playoff leaders. Team by team, what's going to look better? So I'm going to click on Boston Celtics. This is the statistics I'm looking for. Now again, this could be more difficult. If you've picked an obscure topic, it's going to be a little bit harder to find your data online. This is pretty easy. I have the Celtics playoff statistics, and here they are. What you're going to look for is you want the totals. The goal of this project is to calculate averages. Notice how you see averages right here. I want you to calculate those averages using Excel. So I'm looking for total raw statistics, and I found them right here. Okay, so I'm going to calculate data for their 4 best players. Okay, so back here on my spreadsheet, I'm going to type in Paul Pierce, I can use my arrow key on my keyboard to navigate through. That's what I'm doing. And they play for Boston. So I'm just going to type in Boston here. Notice how it repeats if I have nothing else. Now I'm going to do games played. Going back to the internet. Looks like they all played 7. Okay, all played 7 games. And now I'm going to look for their total points. So Paul Pierce at 34, Ray Allen 29. Oh, that's rebounds, sorry. Points. Paul Pierce 148, Ray Allen 135. .148, 135. Now Rondo and Garnett. Rondo 110, Garnett 112. Again, I said they all played 7 games so far. I'm going to leave this blank for now because column E, column G, column I, and column L are all averages. They're going to be calculated using Excel formulas. So I'm going to leave those blank and just look for my totals. So I'm going to get the total for assists, totals for rebounds, and their free throws. So the next column is assists. So for assists, total assists, Paul Pierce 18, Ray Allen 18, Kevin Garnett 18, and Rondo 78. That'll be pretty easy. 18, 78, 18, 18. Again, skip assists per game. Let's go to total rebounds. 34, 29, 77, 45. 34, 29, 77, and I think Rondo's go back, 45. Skip rebounds per game. Up to the free throws. Free throws made and attempted. Paul Pierce, 23 for 26. 23, 26. Rajon Rondo. 22 for 36. Ray Allen. 18 for 18. And Kevin Garnett. 14 for 15. Okay, now I have all my raw statistical data. I want you to pick at least 4 people. You can do more, but 4 is a good number to compare. Okay, then you need to tell your cells how you want them to display the numbers you typed in. So far, games played, 7. It's good, looks good. This is total numbers. So points, total number, looks good. Assists, total number, looks good. Looks good, looks good, looks good. We don't have to do anything. Notice how these are averages. They're going to come out as decimals. So we have to tell the computer program how we want them to display them. So for columns E, I'm going to hold them Control G, Control I. These 3 columns, all in the display, right click, format cell. In the number tab, you want them to display a number with 1 decimal. And you hit OK. For this column, L, that's a percentage. Right click, format cells, a percentage with 1 decimal place. And hit OK. So now here's the fun part. To calculate the mathematics, points per game equals, you type the equal sign on your keyboard, you click on the cell for points. Notice how D4 comes up. You're going to divide that by the cell for games played. So it's D4 divided by C4. You hit enter and you get 21.1 points per game. If I go back to the site and go up here, notice how Paul Pierce is 21.1 points per game. So you've calculated his averages using his totals. Go back to your spreadsheet. Once you're done, notice the little black box in the bottom right corner of that cell changes your cursor to a black plus sign. You can click, drag, and it calculates all these cells together for you. Assists per game equals the assist cell, F4 divided by games played. Hit enter, 2.6. Bottom right corner, click and drag, and you get rebounds equals 34. This is H4 divided by games played. Enter, click and drag, and then free throws equals mades divided by the misses. You hit enter. Notice how I've quickly filled out my spreadsheet calculating their percentages and averages. Okay, I'm now ready to compare my data and create my PowerPoint.